home to great storytellers, people like Steven Spielberg, Quentin Tarantino, the guy who wrote the Deuce Bigelow movies, the masters, okay? But the story that is unfolding in Washington right now, it's a hard one to beat. The, oops, who did I add to this text chain? Heard around the world. It's not even a complicated story. It's a simple story. There was a high-level government text chain. They were using an app that the government specifically warned them not to use. They shared specific times they would be attacking another country, hours before the attack, and they accidentally put a reporter on the chain to witness the whole thing. That's it. That's the plot. The chat's out of the bag. But what makes a Donald Trump presidency more spasmodically volatile than other presidencies is that their first instinct when something like this happens is to bury something that embarrasses them under a steaming pile of what, Guillermo?
Bullshit.
Of bullshit.
Yeah, bullshit. Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly right.
Yeah.
And this is one of those like Star Wars where we'll be getting backstory and prequels and sequels for many years to come. So the original story published in The Atlantic was this: the Trump administration accidentally texted me its war plans by Jeffrey Goldberg. And that pretty much sums it up. That's what happened. But these people, they can't just admit they screwed up, even though it's right there in front of our eyes. It's as plain as day. Instead, they defend themselves by taking issue with the term war plans.
There were no sources, methods, locations, or war plans that were shared.
There were no war plans discussed.
We have said all along no war plans were discussed. There were no war plans discussed.
Nobody was texting war plans, and that's all I have to say.
Nobody's texting war plans.
Nobody's texting war plans.
It's not war plans.
Nobody's texting war plans, and that's all I have to say.
Okay, so how many times do you have to repeat a lie before it becomes true? I guess we're going to find out. So the reporter then, who was on the chain, published the exchange, the whole exchange. Let's go through it now, and you can decide for yourself if these are war plans or not. Okay, let's see. F-18s launch, target terrorists, strike drones launch, more F-18s launch, first bombs will definitely drop, first sea-based Tomahawks launch. Now, I'm not an expert on war. These don't seem like peace plans to me. The Secretary of Defense, Pete Hegseth, gave the chain a 2-hour heads up with every detail relating to the timing and scope of the attack, the weapons they were using, details that could easily have compromised the mission and endangered the pilots flying it if those texts had been hacked or shared with the wrong people. This operation was about as secretive as a Fortnite Twitch stream, okay? Who could ever have guessed that the host of Weekend Fox and Friends would be bad at running the military? I mean, imagine how lifelong military professionals must feel. This was the 90s. This would be like suddenly having to take orders from Kathy Lee. But they weren't war plans. That's what matters. They were attack plans, which are totally different. So today, The Atlantic wrote, here are the attack plans that Trump's advisors shared on Signal, and the White House press secretary somehow claimed this as a victory. She wrote, The Atlantic has conceded these were not war plans. At this point, they're just screwing with us, right? And thank God we got rid of DEI. Now you can rest assured that the idiots in charge were not chosen for their race or gender. They were chosen purely based on being idiots. And here's the thing. And this is something that if a lower-level government employee had done this, they would have been fired and maybe gone to jail. The NSA sent out a bulletin last month warning specifically that Signal is vulnerable to hacking. So what do these clowns do? They all use Signal, all of them. This wasn't one bonehead. This was Bonechella, okay? Why they weren't communicating on a secure device from a secure location, nobody knows. Don't we have a situation room for this? Or did Trump turn that into a golf simulator? Oh, there it is. That's where you're supposed to coordinate attacks on terrorists. Steve Witkoff, the U.S. Special Envoy, was getting and sending these texts from Russia. His secure location was the Moscow Ramada Inn. The guy who actually started the text chain and added the reporter, Jeffrey Goldberg, is National Security Advisor Michael Waltz, who last night sat for an absolutely unbelievable interview with Laura Ingraham, during which he simultaneously took all responsibility for the mistake and floated the idea that Goldberg somehow magically inserted himself into this conversation.
How did a Trump-hating editor of The Atlantic end up on your Signal chat?
You know, Laura, I'm not a conspiracy theorist, but of all the people out there, somehow this guy who has lied about the president, who has lied to Gold Star families, lied to their attorneys, and gone to Russia hoax, gone to just all kinds of links to lie and smear the president of the United States, and he's the one that somehow gets on somebody's contact and then gets sucked into this group.
Somehow gets on somebody's contact and gets sucked into the group. No, you added him to the chain. He was in your phone. I mean, using his own real name and phone number. He must be a diabolical genius. And how do you catch a diabolical genius? There's only one way. With another diabolical genius.
I just talked to Elon on the way here. We've got the best technical minds looking at how this happened. But I can tell you for 100%, I don't know this guy. I know him by his horrible reputation, and he really is the bottom scum of journalists.
Now Elon's their IT guy. Anytime something goes wrong, it's like, Elon, will you look at this? I don't know what happened. This paranoid, hysterical liar is our national security advisor. Are we supposed to believe this story? I mean, even Laura Ingraham had a hard time pretending she buys this.
I mean, I don't mean to be pedantic here, but how did the number?
Have you ever had somebody's contact that shows their name, and then you have somebody else's number there?
I never make those mistakes.
Right? You got somebody else's number on someone else's contact. So of course I didn't see this loser in the group. It looked like someone else. Now whether he did it deliberately or it happened in some other technical mean is something we're trying to figure out.
Or maybe you had his name in your phone because you've texted with him before. He seems awfully defensive, doesn't he? He said he doesn't know Jeffrey Goldberg. He said he wouldn't recognize him if he saw him in a police lineup. Jeffrey Goldberg refuses to comment on whether he knows Waltz or if they have a relationship of any kind. So I guess it was only a matter of time before someone found a photo of them together, which they did. Here they are in 2021 at the French embassy. My God, the call was coming from inside the White House. Either way, the Trump administration is saying, hey, everybody makes mistakes. We learned a lesson. From now on, we will move all top secret communication to TikTok, where it's safe. And the MAGA media is working overtime to either ignore this, as you'll see in a minute, or to focus their outrage on the reporter who did nothing other than report accidentally being added to a sensitive text chain.
I mean, what an arrogant man. The Trump administration accidentally texted me its war plan. Give me a break. Trying to flash what the overeducated journalism industry passes off as depth. The use of giant words that I guarantee this dude had to look up. He was probably so proud of himself. He wrote this. After reading this chain, I recognized that this conversation possessed a high degree of verisimilitude. Dude, just use a normal word like authentic or true or real. I'll be honest, I had to look this word up, which that's exactly what these squinty liberal writers live for. Oh, look at how educated I am.
Is that a real person or is somebody playing a character? Because it's like, it's either Hans or Franz gone bad. I don't know which one. This dork forced me to use the dictionary, and that makes me mad.
My theory on this whole thing, that maybe it wasn't by accident that he was added to this text chain. Seriously. I know a lot of people on this text chain personally. They're not stupid people.
Some of them are even smarter than me. That is remarkable. I mean, Rob Gronkowski is at home going, what a dumbass this guy is. And then we have the gang at Fox, who in the middle of this giant story decided that now would be a good time. Do you remember 2 weeks ago when a reporter accidentally bumped Trump with a boom mic, you know, the big fuzzy mics? Well, Maria Bartiromo and James Comer, the chief house yokel from Kentucky, picked today to get to the bottom of it.
I was struck by this incident. This seems to me it could have been real dangerous. Trump is talking to reporters, and the microphone hits President Trump in the face. He was very cool about it and didn't really say much. I believe that was an NPR reporter.
You've got a hostile media, and they're jacked up. You know, when I see them in the hall here in Washington, they're hostile. Their eyes are bugged out of their head, and I'm sure when you take Trump, you can multiply that times 10 with their hostility. So it is a dangerous situation, and we are concerned about that.
And well, you should be. It's a very dangerous situation. Imagine what an adversary could do with a microphone like that.
An adversary could have used that against somebody putting something on that microphone. It actually hit him in the face. That's dangerous. He handled it very cool and collective. Was that an NPR reporter's microphone? Do we know for sure?
I heard that it was, but we're gonna find out today. That's one of the things we're gonna try to find out before the hearing.
Please do. Please get to the bottom of this, because this kind of madness cannot be allowed to go on.
That's something that the Secret Service needs to take into account. That's something that never should have happened. And again, it shows how calm and cool President Trump is under pressure. He didn't flinch. I can only imagine what Kamala Harris would have done in that situation.
Yeah, he handled it very well, but still a dangerous moment.
Yeah, you're just so right. I mean, look at these things. They're so dangerous. I mean, they look fluffy and soft. You know what else looks fluffy and soft? A bunny rabbit. And those things will kill you. I mean, look at this. Look at how much this hurt. It's very, very, very painful. I'm surprised I'm not unconscious right now. I mean, do you mind? Can I try this on you? Oh, my goodness. Isn't that awful? You're lucky you still have heads. Well, you'd be shocked to know they did not get to the bottom of this, because the chair of the committee that called the hearing today had more important fish to fry.
This show was aired on PBS on April 1st, 2021.
The hips on the dragon go swish, 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 swish. The shoulders on the dragon go shimmy, 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 shimmy.
The hips go swish, swish, swish. The shoulders go shimmy, shimmy, shimmy. That's repulsive.
Someone please make a song out of that, will you? Wait, which one was the drag queen? I'm confused. This is not a bright person, okay? The fact that these people are representing the United States, this is how Marge reacted to a question from a British reporter from Sky News today.
Anybody else?
Should the defense secretary...
What country are you? Wait, what country are you from?
From the UK.
Okay, we don't give a crap about your opinion and your reporting. Why don't you go back to your country where you have a major migrant problem?
Okay,
and you no. You should care about your own borders.
Do you care about American lives being put at risk?
Let me tell you something. Do you care about people from your country? What about all the women that are raped by migrants?
Do you care
No,
about
by migrants. No, do you care? Okay, you're done.
Do you care about American lives being put at risk?
You know what? I don't care. I don't.
Service members fighting for your country.
I don't care about your
vice
fake news.
president
Do you have a
and your
relevant
defense
question?
secretary.
Yeah, this is an American journalist. Thank you.
I'm an American, and I'd like to hear your answer to what she's asked.
I'm not answering her question.
Should not be in Congress. That woman, you know what she should be? She should be a wrestler. She should be jumping off the turnbuckle onto someone's head. Maybe the craziest thing about Marjorie Taylor Greene is she's not from Florida. She's from Georgia. I think her parents maybe had her in Florida and dumped her next door. Florida, I don't know if you've heard, they're considering a new law to fill a big hole they created because the state has been so gung-ho about deporting everyone. They now have a lot of low-paying jobs to fill, and their proposed solution to that problem is loosening child labor laws. State legislators yesterday advanced a bill that would allow kids as young as 14 to work overnight shifts on school days. You know, just when you think Florida is as Florida as it can get, they somehow find a way to out-Florida themselves. Parents and teachers, of course, are worried that this will affect students' performance in school. So Florida is also outlawing school. They're one step ahead of us. And not only are lawmakers in Sunshine State making new rules for local students, they are also establishing new rules for students visiting on spring break.
Spring breakup, the toughest restrictions in Miami Beach beginning today.
These strict rules were put in place this year to try to curb all of that chaos, and Local 10's Chris Davidson joins us live to explain.
As thousands of partiers flock to Miami Beach, authorities are issuing new rules and regulations. Parking garages and lots south of 23rd Street will be closed. DUI checkpoints will begin at 7 p.m. Any attempts to drunkenly backflip off a truck require that you must take out at least one other spring breaker. Police will be cracking down on meth-fueled fights with the Easter Bunny, especially if he is winning. And jet ski jousting is prohibited after 4 p.m. A $200 fine will be issued for anyone creating their own drive-through window at a cafe. And in order to purchase beer, you must either have a valid ID or a live alligator. Those who do not comply with the rules will be removed from the county and sent back to where they came from. The rules remain in place through March. Reporting live in Miami Beach, I'm
You know what? He's better off. Guillermo, do you know how many subscribers we have on YouTube now?
20 million.
That's right. Yeah, that's why we're wearing these glasses. Thanks for being a subscriber. If you're not, help us get to 20,000,001.